Hello, YouTuber Woobers. It's Tuesday, 25th of October. It is chilly out. Well, it's not bad. It's about 50, about 60 inside the house. And that explains the rosy cheeks. uh, so I got in my generator panel. Transfer switch was $30 less than the last time I bought it. This over here, oops, wrong side. This over here is for the neutrals, which are isolated from ground. This is the grounding bus where all the ground wires go into. Then this is where the two L1 and L2 on the other side. That's going to go to the main panel or the sub panel. And then on either side is where you're going to go in from the inverter on one side, and the other side is the grid. Uh, Fairly straightforward panel. Um, and they give you a screw in sub panels, green screw. And what this would do is, you wouldn't necessarily use it in this situation, but what this would do is ground the, as you can see in the box, where the neutrals go, is actually insulated from the metal case. Now this screw here would take the neutral bus and ground it. Now if this was a main panel, coming off your main panel, then you might consider grounding it. But generally speaking, sub panels off of the grid panel is you isolate the neutral and the grounding lines away from each other. And that is to ensure that when static electrical noise, there's other reasons too, but what you want is you want your ground wire to, you always want to ground your metal case on everything. So whenever you do any electrical work, you never ever not ground the metal box to your grounding line. But electrical noise will travel down your ground wire, and you don't necessarily want that on your neutral, because if you don't put it on your neutral and you plug an electronic device in, it could actually pick up that, and it can also pick up it as a radio wave interference. So by making sure that your ground wires all go back to your main panel directly without being in connection with their neutrals. Um, Now the other time we might do it differently would be is if one side was your generator and the other side was your inverter. And then that would be your main panel input. Then you would probably want to ground your neutral to the case in a total off-grid situation. So because that would be actually your main panel, your main grid panel. And of course your generator is also going to be grounded individually. There's always a ground lug on the frame that you would run a ground wire to your grounding pin, your 8-foot grounding rod that goes down, that you've pounded endlessly into the ground till it can't go any further, or it's down most of the way. So as you know, this is Tuesday. So I am going to put a link for Tuesday today. Topic is about crossroads. And of course, it's the reflections of what's going on in the U.S. at the moment. And, you know, even though these are targeted towards the U.S., you can easily apply it to things going on in your life, even if you're not here, or even if you're not paying attention to the U.S. elections right now. Crossroads is something that comes up in everybody's life. And basically crossroads is you come up to an intersection You can't go straight. You have to either go left or right. There are no signs. Or maybe there are signs. Maybe it says ice cream parlor and it says going to church. And you got a 2-for-1 over here, and you don't have a 2-for-1 going to church. And you have to decide which one is best. Now maybe you could go to the parlor because there's a Bible reading class going on at the same time. So it's a win-win. But on the other hand, you might be going over to church. Now usually the crosswords are a whole lot more structured, like trying to decide what to do for work, or whether you should ask a girl to dance, or all these things. And whatever you choose, typically you get hit with an "Are you sure?" So they say you choose to go to the ice cream parlor and to go to your Bible reading at the ice cream parlor. Now, here, me being a diabetic, maybe going to the ice cream parlor is not such a good thing. Going to church would have been a better choice, because all you're going to go is get a little slice of bread at the church. Go over there, you're going to get. All right, ice cream parlor does sound a whole lot better. And so, that's where it's at. Whenever you make a decision at a crosswords, you generally get hit with an "Are you sure?" afterwards. And even if it's a really great decision, but you have a lot of fear around it, and you finally make the decision, you're choosing the one that you have all the fear and anxiety around, because you really know that's your best choice, you're going to get an "Are you sure?" that's going to ask you, "Are you sure you want to make this decision?" And say, "Yes, I want to make the decision." And I was watching a video from Steve Harvey, and he's on the Family Feud show. He's the latest and greatest for the show, hosting it. And he was talking about a similar thing, saying about flying. And, this is the same thing, going to the crossroads. And second, eventually you're going to have to make a choice. The leap of faith that this is going to be the best thing for you to do, for your life. And as soon as you do, you're going to fall like a rock to the ground. And that's going to be your leap of faith. That, even though it's your best choice, in the beginning, it may not seem like the best choice. You're going to say, "Oh, why did I make that stupid decision? I should have played it safe. I should have played it safe." And, but eventually, if this is actually the best choice for you, even though the path is a whole lot less rocky, like, say you're going through the woods and if you go this way, it's not so rocky. If you go this way, you've got to climb up this steep hill. And the rocky way is really rough and dangerous, but you're up and over the mountain, down the other side, and you're back where you belong. And you take the easy way. You finally find yourself in front of a river. Now you're going to cross this river that's, 15 feet deep, and it's got a raging current, and you've got to figure out how to get across without drowning. So, crossroads, "Are you sure?" is fascinating things. Yep. And here you get to talk about transfer panel and life at the same time. This was kind of the same thing. I took the easy way out. As my previous video is saying, I goofed. I had a sub panel that I had that was free, came with the house, took it off, refurbished it, reused it, and then what happens? There was something wrong with it. So my easy path turned out to be the wrong path. So, and if this cost more in the end, but it actually not. If I had actually bought my breakers at regular price, they would have been $18 a piece. That'd been $36, plus that foolish interlock thing, which was another $25. 28. You know, you're back almost up to the 90. So, you know, I tried to take the easy way out. It seemed easy, but the better way is to go with the better product, which is a transfer switch. It's going to be plain and simple. Everybody's going to understand it. It's going to work correctly. You know, it's got this interlock on it here that basically it'll keep you from having both breakers into the middle at the same time, which is what the other one did. But so you know, here it's like this, you know, or it's like this. It's very easy. Anybody can take care of it this way. And ultimately, you know, when my daughter takes over this house, she'll be able to handle this kind of stuff. That hopefully I've done enough things to make it easier. And that's it. Ta-ta. Happy Tuesday. Just because I'm wearing red and I've tie-dyed my underwear red doesn't actually mean that I'm voting for Trump, but I still think he's a better choice of the two evils. Just saying. I could be totally wrong. It's a crossroads. I generally don't make my decision until I walk into those gates. And Massachusetts is actually offering early voting. You go in, actually right now I could go in there today and vote and make the decision. But I'm not ready to make the decision yet. But ta-ta, ta-ta.